Right. Okay. I have 7:01. I'll go ahead and call this to order.
School board is 7:39, so I'm gonna go cover that. Are you guys recording, broadcasting?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. All right, we have no changes, so is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. I'll second.
Motion by Joe, second by Austin. Could I have another pen? This one is scratchy. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, is there a motion to recess our regular meeting and meet as the Board of Adjustments for a variance permit 627-25?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Joel, second by Rick. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, are there any comments about,
I apologize, I think I missed the lines.
Oh,
Either
like-
you or him can discuss what.
Yeah.
Yep.
what the, yeah. So people know what they're commenting about. Do you care to explain your ideas?
Yeah. So, what we're proposing is to put an addition onto the east side of the boomers right now. It'd be for, video lottery and a little more stored room. I guess what would be considered the backyard setbacks doesn't fall within code. We're pretty much right on the property line, so that's what the variance would be used for. So, and I believe that'd be the only issue with, what we've been told, so.
Okay. Are there any public comments about? Okay, discussion from council?
Been there forever.
Yep.
The only thing that's gonna change is going east.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty much.
How much
Yeah,
room?
AC unit and everything, the cooler unit would, I mean, none of that would change, that would stay in the same place. Yeah, it would just be 20 feet extended.
How much room was gonna be between the alleyway and the building afterwards? Good question.
It was on a.
I saw it a
Yeah.
little bit ago, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, maybe it's.
Justin might be able to find it here. But that was part of the reason with 20 and not more, so we had plenty of room to get
Okay.
vehicles in there.
Yeah, we've got it at, 33 feet,
Ah.
so.
Where's your parking gonna be then?
The nice thing about it is it will add some more spots along the front of the building as well, so we'll have some more in the front and then the same amount on the sides.
Oh, perfect.
How many machines were you guys planning on?
Not sure
Okay.
yet, but probably, I think space-wise, maybe like 5 or 6.
Okay.
It won't be a large room. Most of the space will be for a new bathroom, more cooler space, like a little beer cove,
Okay.
hopefully room for a couple tables and stuff. So,
All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now another one, miss. I hereby adjourn as the Board of Adjustments. So, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome to stay and listen as long as.
I got work to do.
Yeah.
No one ever falls.
No. All right, Jim, you're next.
Oh, hey, did we go out of?
Yes, I
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Mel Ness's residential property.
Okay, yes.
The county has died on trying to get anything done with it. And it's a safety hazard as far as the tree, that huge tree in the back. It's all fallen, there's little branches on the house. It took the power lines out to the house. It's this big brush pile that's there that is not only a fire hazard, but a pest hazard. There's all kinds of rats, rodents and stuff that we're having to contend with.
Mhm.
And I'm just here to try to see if y'all could take the tree down, clean up the brush around it.
Okay.
And make it, at least it's safe for somebody to bid on it if the county ever gets off their, like,
Yeah.
you know what.
Well, and kids have been going through the yard, whether or not they're in the home, which
Right.
kids do.
Well, yeah,
Or-
yeah.
And I'd hate to see if the
I don't want
roof's
anybody to
leaking,
get hurt, so.
if somebody
Yeah.
fall through the floor, if, I don't know, it's their basement, but I doubt anybody near them. Screaming.
Yeah.
It's,
I don't know what the condition of the inside is. for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
The tree is a hazard,
Yeah.
a huge hazard. If it falls on my house, who do I get? Who does my insurance company try to go after?
Right, right.
You can't,
Just
can't
tack
really
it
call
on
it
to
an
the
act of
estate.
God simply because we all see how the tree is dying and
yeah. it's
branches,
going on
of
7
huge
years.
branches have broken off of it.
So I know you contacted, and we've contacted Michelle and through our attorney, Jen Delzer. And then we were told to take everything through Todd Wilkinson. Have we heard from him since this most
Did
recent?
you read
I,
Michelle?
yeah, I read Michelle's and she said,
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the last of it.
yeah, so.
I don't know if we need to
A friend
start.
of mine wanted to buy that house and he's pretty much given up on it.
Right, yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
it's going on 7 years.
I mean, if it ever comes out, he'll
Really?
probably bid on it, but he
Yeah.
wanted a place to live so he could retire. He wants to
Right.
move here.
right,
So we bought a different house.
no,
You know,
I understand.
years ago, we had to go through the process of taking down that barn that was
Right,
at the empty
right.
lot
Yeah,
and taking down trees and shrubs. Like,
Right.
we probably have to start that process.
yeah,
And then whatever that bill is,
we
tack
tack it
on to
on,
the taxes.
right, yeah, so.
Honestly, I don't know how it's taking this long.
No,
My question, who has possession of the property now? The county?
Well, the county hasn't taken it for taxes. They haven't even approved, they've run it through their commission. They have, Michelle's been just doing paperwork and trying to build a fire under the
Well-
county attorney, who is also our city attorney.
I think there's a
Not
lot of
anymore.
loans against it, that's a problem.
There are no loans
Well,
against it.
There ain't. Well, that one time I checked, there
Just
was.
let-
There's no loans, it's liens.
Well, liens,
Yeah,
same
there's a-
difference.
yeah.
I mean, you can't say you can't
$38,000
get
medical lien, brother.
cleared.
Well,
Yeah, I worked a lot with Michelle on that property, because
Brian wanted.
Brian wanted to buy it.
To try to keep the costs
But-
down, because he was
but,
trying to get it.
and he was willing to pay off the liens at one time, I think.
right,
Um,
I think we need to start the process of, I don't know if we go through Tim Austin, is that what? Is it
No. When
What's
when
in-
we did the,
Todd?
when we
And
did
the
the
tree is our
barn,
biggest concern.
Todd
Yeah,
was
we get another big
Yeah.
ratio, I hate to see which way.
We're
it's
just a heavy
going.
limb.
whatever.
It's not like we don't get
happens
wounded
next
around
month or
there.
two.
Yeah.
I know, we've been having our
Yeah.
share of
Yeah.
it, and I keep looking like, ooh, which way is it?
So we will reach out to Todd Wilkinson to start the process like we did with the barn then and have it deemed unsafe so that we can proceed.
And I think Tim was involved.
The,
I
He
think
wrote
so.
a
tree or the
Yeah.
entire property?
What?
The tree or the entire property?
Entire property, yeah.
We'll attempt the entire property and whatever they let us do to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it might be where we can't touch the house. We'll see,
Yeah.
but we'll tell them that it's just not safe. And
Yeah, well, the tree is the biggest unsafe thing. I'm not worried about the house falling down.
Right,
Or even
right.
try to put a padlock maybe on the doors. to
Yeah.
Keep the children out, so they don't
Yep.
get hurt.
Yeah, good. Yes, thank you. And we will get on that right away.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Appreciate your help.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you. Are there any public comments?
I'm wondering about, we talked about curb stops, charging for
Yes.
curb stops, what's the scoop on that?
Okay, so that's down in new business.
Okay.
We have a resolution of, and I want to say, is it 18? I don't want to speak out of turn, going off memory, but
Oh, 15 and 15.
15 for water and 15 for sewer.
See, like I got like 7 down across my street, and that amounts to a lot of money, as far as I'm concerned.
Is it
May
7
not
lots,
ever be
Jerry, or
used. What?
how many, each one of them's got a
Yeah.
access to it?
Yeah, they put them in when they did the road, but I had one there, furnished all my spots there. But now, like you say,
So, but there's just one that comes off the main?
For each lot.
for each lot there is now, I mean, there's like 7 along that I got along there alone. That's
Oh, I didn't know if you had one master one.
Well, I do.
So
That's where that
is that
man
7
is,
separate? I don't
We-
know
we-
how that's set up
After
there.
I talked to him the other day and I looked back at the design.
Right,
And the only one that was added in was the one down by the drainage by Tolzien's. There's like a drainage ditch there. That was
Okay.
the only one that was added in that wasn't either already existing or requested. It didn't matter.
okay,
Because
Okay.
the 2 lots across the house, those are existing curb stops.
Okay.
And then the one that he's talking that runs the 5 hydrants.
mhm,
And then the one south of that, which is the cement pad, or I don't know if there's a camper still sitting there now, but
okay,
south of Scott's.
Yeah.
And then there's one down the corner on Lake and Fifth. Down by, across from Tori Olson's old place.
So how many is that actually then? Is it 7 or is it?
7 total on the street that are not used, or
Okay.
not currently being used.
All of them on Jerry's side or some on the other side too? or-
There'd be one on the east side, right across from the elevator, probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Otherwise, all the way from Renee's shop to the end of the,
Yeah, there's 6 there, right?
yeah.
North of Ronay's, there's 6 there.
yeah, I guess,
The state actually said they recommended that the city charge the same as any other one.
Yeah.
So they were talking 100 and
Oh, yeah,
some
they're
dollars
talking
for
a lot
each
more.
one.
Yeah.
And which was, I can see their point on generating revenue to pay off loan and stuff.
Well,
but
yeah, I
wow,
can see that too, but
understandable on ones being used, but ones that just because there's access, we decided that that
like
was
water
way
bill, you
too
got a
much.
meter on the house, you ain't using electricity, you ain't paying that. You
And
know, I mean, that's a lot of money by the time you pay taxes and that. It's bad enough, we gotta pay the $140 for water and sewer. I'm helping pay streets and not anything. I mean, it's like, it's kind of a bad deal all the way around, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't see a banner.
I don't
No,
know.
they couldn't really.
Oh, really?
Oh. I do want to thank you, but yeah, we have it on the agenda, so,
Is that new business there?
yeah, under new business. Okay, I guess,
And then D. Smith and Arlington do this as well, correct?
Yes, for
Yeah.
vacant lots.
For, yeah.
And so far as I know, we're way cheaper than what anybody has recommended that we do. But they all kind of seem to indicate that we
Like
do
when I
supposed not to.
started, I didn't realize that there should have been like accounts for all of these,
right,
you know,
Mhm.
and if there hadn't already been, then why would it occur to you?
right.
Yeah. Agreed.
I mean, there's a lot of houses I tore down. I mean, that's something else that I did. And then you turn around and want me to pay curb and water deal, they're not being used, it ain't right, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't own the curb stops, the city does to begin with.
Correct.
Got anybody inquiring about buying lots or?
Oh, yeah.
Something to think about.
All right, we still need to do pay request 10 though. Banner's not here, but pay request 10.
Yeah, I know.
Well, there's pay request on 2A.
13.
Yeah, 13 and
Oh,
14.
okay.
Okay. Pay request 13 under phase 2A. Pay amount this request is $18,389.70. Submitted for rounds. It includes payment for bid item 119, adjusting a manhole, and item 123, 4 inches of asphalt concrete. So, Banner has reviewed and recommends payments.
You said that was 18,389?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So is there a motion to?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Jeremy, second by Joel. Any other discussion? All in favor?
I
Opposed?
I abstain, like, due to conflict of interest.
Motion carries. Okay. An owner.
Okay, so change order. This is the one that, like, just make sure that we have it done in a meeting. We have
Oh,
already-
okay. Here, owner?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
And earlier, I'm like, I should just see.
All right. Change order 1. Contract times have been adjusted for City of Lake Preston's request to have the removals completed on Fremont Avenue South to correspond with the commencement of work on the city's water and wastewater improvements during Phase 2B project. So,
removals. What are we talking about?
That's the reason I requested that, because I didn't want to have all the root balls tore out and stumps ground and then not know exactly when Frontier and Rounds were gonna be in town.
Mm-hmm.
Tear up everybody's yard and
Yeah.
let them sit on it and have weeds growing, so
Yep,
I
good
requested to
thinking.
have that. It's actually been here for a little while now,
mhm.
but, I just thought it was in everyone's best interest, bad enough, they're gonna be going through a construction season to go through it for another month or two if they didn't have to. Cause that was supposed to be April 1st, if I remember right.
Yeah, that's when it was supposed to be
15.
completed.
And I just said, do not do it, cause the hauling black dirt to turn around and dig it all back up and all that later, it didn't make sense to do it now.
When are they thinking of it?
Good thinking.
2 to 3 weeks at the most, but they'll be here by the end of the month for sure.
Do we need to make motions on this, or it's just?
I would just,
Okay, is there a motion to approve change order 1?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
And the winner is? Okay, motion by Austin, second by Rick. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And then pay request 10 for the water tower, McGuire.
Well, I had somebody contact me saying that the water tower, they believe, is leaning 20 degrees. So we should make them fix it before we go any farther.
Yeah, we'll get
We'll
right on
get
that.
some shims under the one side. Sure. Go to Lowe's and get some wood
So I
chips.
brought it up.
make a change.
Seriously?
100% seriously.
That's pretty significant.
Apparently they didn't see him with the plumb bob.
Well, they were wondering if I had a laser I could take down there and shoot with a laser. Straight up.
Is this
So I
serious?
drove down,
Are
yeah,
we being serious?
yes.
It's still off the ground.
Oh, okay,
It's not on
it's
the
not,
concrete.
it's not set yet, or
It's,
what?
it's not, it's bolted, but it's not, they're not all set yet. It's this
Oh,
far off the
okay, I'm
ground.
like, oh my.
But it's
God.
not 20 degrees.
No.
It's kind of, you look at it, depending on how the clouds are moving, sometimes it looks a little crooked one way and then the next time it looks crooked the other way, so. I'm,
Or you from a distance and look at a pole and you go,
Mhm.
was the pole crooked or the tower crooked?
yep, so, but I brought up their concerns.
Thank you. for
So
that.
now that we have given it all the due concern it deserves, we
Yes,
can move
much
on.
appreciated.
Was that the calibrated eyeball 20 degrees?
So this is McGuire for water tower, pay request 10 in the amount of $166,937.25.
166 what?
937 and 25 cents.
All right, is there a motion to approve, or is there any discussion besides the 20-degree?
I am so happy to see him make progress. Here's
It
my
just-
When's the
comment.
completion date on that deal?
August something.
Yeah,
It just
sometime this fall.
didn't seem all that big, you know, when you look at it, it's like, oh, I thought it, you know, when you look at the Arlington one,
Yeah.
in relationship to this one, it's like, oh, we got a lollipop.
We put 15 of ours in there.
Is this the same size as the old one?
No, double.
It's double?
Yeah.
I've been hearing comments that how it looks smaller.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
It's just the shape of it, or?
Yeah, we've asked and asked and asked. Doug just convinced it's not. Doug will be watching the meter when we fill it.
We'll
Yeah.
need proof.
I can see
It better
where
not be a gallon
it's-
short.
Double. Yeah, I find that hard to believe too.
All right, is there a motion to approve pay request 10?
So moved.
I'll second.
A motion by Joe, second by Rick, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Oh. May 5th, old meeting. Ash,
There's a typo in there.
okay?
I believe you called
Buman as name instead of Blake.
Oh,
Guest appearance.
yeah. maybe
Yes,
that's the few.
okay, so with that correction, is there a motion to approve or any other discussion? Okay,
That's all I caught.
okay,
I'm good with it. I'll motion.
I'll second.
motion by Joel, second by Austin, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh, sure we can.
Yeah,
I
Not
was on
yet.
the same meeting. wasn't I?
Yep.
okay, now this one he can, the new minutes of the new meeting on May 5th. Anyone notice anything? Okay, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Rick, second by John, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, committee reports. How about your personnel committee? Pool staff.
Well, we tried.
Right.
It was good.
The meeting was good. Just
Went
the
well.
follow through is lacking.
So Morgan and I had a meeting with two of the guards today
Mhm.
and discussed no
Bribing.
bribing children to leave the pool with Oreos.
Or any other contraband I would expect.
And better team effort in cleaning.
Okay.
So, only 1 week. We've only been over 1 month.
What was the bribing about?
So they can go.
They wanted to go home,
So they can go.
so they give some kids a bunch of treats to leave. Was it after hours, or they just
No.
wanted to leave early?
They wanted to leave her.
We wanna work, but we don't wanna work.
We want the paycheck, we don't.
Yeah, that's,
They realize they're paid hourly, correct?
they don't care.
Okay. To get their parents off their back for going, having a job.
It doesn't have to be just that age, cause Early Ellingson, he worked for Bose one summer. Since he had a daughter go to a Ivy League college, it cost him a lot. And usually they'd have their 40 hours by sometime Wednesday. Then they'd start offering, double time on the weekends or overtime and stuff. And it was always the mature people who would take the overtime. Everybody else complained about they're out of money, but they didn't want to miss the parties.
Yeah.
All right, and then Personnel Committee also hired Ryan Green.
Now, I just wanted to make sure, so 13 or 1350? I know, McKaylen, I think is at 13. So Ryan at 13,
It's his first time, right?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as lifeguard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 13.
Okay. Building Committee. Park shops were painted, Quonset.
Yep.
Okay.
Looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, no, I drove down that day. They made very fast work of it.
Sounds
How long
like
did you say, Brian?
Like 4 hours and there was like 8 of them.
Wow.
It was fast.
Yeah.
But them two buildings needed it for a couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
They did. I know you've been, I've
I had
been
to
talking
mention it a
about
couple
since I can
times.
remember.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll take these. Okay.
I took pictures of you.
Okay, and then Pool Park
We
Committee.
need to do the transfer authority. So like all of these committees, I think we're in
Oh, they're-
text groups or
Yeah.
calling.
Yeah.
So, like, taking the 8,000 for the Quonsets out of contingency.
Mm-hmm.
So Transfer Authority 2025, transfer $8,000 from contingency to park other painting of both Quonset shops at the park, totaling $8,000. All right, is there a motion to approve that?
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Motion by Austin, second by Joel. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then Pool Park Committee, the pergolas. Comments? That's like a,
Or they got
Fancy.
those boards to try to
Fancy umbrella.
Yeah,
try to create some
an
shit.
umbrella with holes in it.
So we did actually end up not doing cement.
Mm-hmm.
There was plenty of cement towards the, east of like where that slide is
Mhm.
and where the lifeguard chair is.
Okay.
So the guys just put them over there.
Okay.
So we didn't.
Yeah.
Have to
Good.
spend on cement.
Yeah, save money.
Yeah.
And it worked out well. They were very popular. When I
Good.
took the grandkids last week, both were busy, occupied. All right, and then the grilling shed. High schoolers are busy at work. And we do have a building permit for that, so. We'll have a paper trail down the road.
I just need to get the cement poured for the pad.
Yeah.
Okay.
When they bring in the building down,
tomorrow.
Okay. Was it pretty much done?
But, yeah, it's,
Building.
they were gonna do it last week, but they wanted to wait till. Get the
Formalized.
till the meeting, get the building permit done.
Okay. Anything else from committees? All right, Doug,
I actually have something.
I'm glad I'm sitting down.
Everybody turn the look.
Been approached by people up on Manor, up in like Bam Bam's apartments.
Okay,
If you have paid any attention, there is garages, but if you drive two full-size vehicles, they don't fit. It's more for like a compact SUV type thing.
oh, okay,
So some people are having to park two in the driveway and they don't really fit. And then they're always playing musical vehicles,
Right.
one's got to leave. And they asked to take the sign down on Manor Avenue for no parking.
overnight, like
And-
12 to 6.
And they took it upon themselves to drive around town. And the only other sign in town like that is just north of the school
Oh,
on, what's that, Second Street.
Oh, yeah.
And they said, you know, they would kind of self-patrol, like no boats, no campers. They just
mhm.
want to be able to park some vehicles there. It's kind of a real nuisance to them, inconvenience.
Right,
And
yeah,
it's, like I said, it's, you know,
Is there plenty of room for them to park?
really, absolutely.
Okay.
Especially this area of concern is they've got their own parking lot on the north side of that property. So like the apartments across, you know, the
North side?
Yeah,
the old apartments that are there. They park,
16 in the eightplex there?
no, the one across
Oh, that.
from Brady's.
Oh, there, yep,
So
yep.
they park south of Brady's. They don't even park in that area.
right,
So it would make sense for these people to be able to walk
Yeah.
down, you know, down the sidewalks and down their, you know, front of their entrances or
Right.
whatever. And then the other building, one person doesn't drive and the other person parks in their own shed, you know, a block away. So there's no other parking that even goes on in that street.
right.
Yeah, is it gonna be a problem once they're all full and we got every place has a spot on the street though?
I'm
Or?
guessing it would be mainly the first building, the south. I think so too. Yeah, I mean, that should be the furthest west building, I would say is who, otherwise, I mean, they're more than welcome to do that, but then they're, in the wintertime, they're gonna be hiking it a ways.
Mhm.
If they park clear over on Manor, which,
Mhm.
you know, I mean, when it snows, they're gonna have to get them off anyhow.
So right now the sign reads no parking.
Well,
overnight?
we got
No
approached,
overnight.
we got approached a few months back,
Right,
putting up the no parking, overnight parking.
right. I
So
remember.
no overnight parking from 12 AM to 6 AM. So that's where.
Why did that come up?
It was discussed at city council several
Yeah.
times.
Oh,
A
someone-
certain citizen who lives in that area
Well, I mean,
was concerned about overnight parking, thinking that it was going to be a problem when these units were built.
Hmm.
So,
Now it's coming back to actually become more of a problem.
right,
It was.
right.
Yeah.
The reality of having the no parking is more of an issue than the perceived problem
I
prior
would
to
tend
people
to
living
agree.
there.
So if there's any spots that you don't want them parking, you just paint yellow on the curb then?
That's typically what we've been doing, but there's nothing on that street specifically.
There isn't?
Besides the fire hydrants.
Okay.
Well, what about the Missouri Compromise? How about a different sign that says no campers or boats parking along here? So just your personal vehicles can go there because you stick a camper on there, that takes up probably a couple of spots.
That's your guys' decision.
do we call them oversized vehicles?
What's
Instead of
oversized?
having, well, it's not a camper or a
Well, I mean,
whatever.
you get my point though,
Yeah.
you know, people will, you know, do that, then you take up more than your share of spots.
Yeah.
I don't know. Food for thought.
Mhm.
Yeah, if it won't affect you guys working, that's the biggest thing, I guess, track, a corner, if they're not parking too
I'm
close to the
sure,
corner.
I'm
to
sure
turn.
it'll bite us in the butt when it comes to a blizzard or something silly or street sweeping, but.
Well, they're gonna be off for that anyway.
It's like everything else, I mean, just work around it, I mean, street sweeping especially, we don't know, if we get a nice sprinkle, they're at work,
Yeah.
deal with it.
Oh, I can do.
No, I can certainly see where they need to park.
And that road's plenty wide, they're all the same width now, basically, I mean, there's, with the exception of the school and stuff like that.
Sure.
So as a council is, what do you guys wanna do?
I'll make a motion to take the sign down.
I'll second it.
I guess
Since it
just
seems to
put
be-
nothing up
Can we
in this
do a
place.
motion? Actually, can we,
Oh, we need a,
it's not officially on the agenda,
Right,
but,
it's not officially on.
so,
Did you have a motion to put the sign up?
Right,
a long time ago,
That was that was a public comment.
Consensus.
right, I think that was
That
just
was a
like.
consensus.
I don't think you had a motion to put it
Yeah,
up.
I don't think there was a motion to approve.
No, I think we just said, well,
A
we'll put it
consensus.
up.
so, unless someone can show us that we did a motion, we'll just take the sign down. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else, Doug?
No, that's all I had.
Okay. Ryan?
Pool's up and running, we dodged a bullet on a 6-inch main line, thanks to Jeremy's equipment. We got it out of there. But basically what happened was, we're at 90s, it goes underground. There was about 2 inches above ground of cast iron that had finally eroded after God knows how many years. And we just happened to get lucky and it was an extension off of 90. So then we just overnighted a part that we already had a glued together 90 in the shop. I don't know why, but we did. So we just glued that together and we put that new fitting on there.
And bust out concrete and
Yeah,
stuff.
cut the old stuff off, old bolts and stuff, and then, then got it on there. We glued it, let it dry overnight, fired it up 7 o'clock the next morning, and not even a dribble, so it worked out pretty good. Otherwise, everything else seems to be running. We just got our first new batch of chlorine this year, and it's definitely leveled out it must have a shelf life on it. 'Cause
Oh.
we were all over the charts with it up and down, and then we got this new stuff, and it's definitely chlorinated.
Was it in just cold area or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it's about like spray and stuff that affects, if it gets too cold too, spray gets way weaker
Yeah,
and stuff, so.
it's a big bulk tank in there that used to go, so it's definitely, we got some good stuff in there now, because it slowly, the last 3 days, it's creeped up a point or two every day. We got the new pit dug out at the rubble site. This one is up on the north end. We have north running east and west, so that's good. Get some gravel in there, so we actually have a little path. We got a little rain on it, so that was fun to deal with. But as far as that MediaCom line on 5th Street or 4th Street, one that was brought up at the last meeting.
Oh, and Brady.
tree to tree.
Yep. I reached out the day after that meeting and talked to the guy for this area. And he said that they were trying to finish up some big highway projects or something. They're running all new lines on the highway or something. And he said that he would bump us up on the priority list before they move on to the next big job.
Oh,
That's
good.
all he could tell me, I guess.
Okay.
And then last thing I got was after today's escapades, I'd just like to hear out.
It's daily.
I'd like to hear you out on our mowing nuisance lawns. I'd like to, if we can expand that from 50 up to 100, depending how bad it was, because today's was exceptional. And if I'm some Joe Blow that doesn't wanna mow the lawn,
Right.
and I can pay $50 to mow your yard,
Make it stink.
you come and get it. Yeah, you wanna mow it for $50, go ahead, it's 2 foot tall.
No, I agree with you.
So I just, and this is the worst one I've seen since I worked here. It was bad.
Where was it at?
Is it on
South,
Spring?
yeah,
Yeah.
south of town.
So we have the 3 notices on Friday, I think
Yep.
it was. On 3 houses, 2 out of the 3 mowed?
You can call it mode, one's going to be taken care of.
Oh, right,
Okay.
okay.
But yeah, they jumped out and got guys lined up, because the one property, there was a resident we got approached by last week. And he said he walks out his alley, and he's got 2 out his alley next door to each other that are over a foot tall. He goes out his front door and he's got one kitty corner that's 2 foot tall, so he was a little peeved, and I would have been
I
too.
don't blame him.
Yeah. So we'd have to change our ordinance when we, isn't it in the ordinance? So,
Probably, yeah.
okay, so can we get that on next month's agenda for a meeting, please?
So like, for instance, like the one that he mowed today
Yeah.
is technically like 1.5 lots, because it says south 25 feet of lot 9, and then all of lot 8. So then that would be 75, right?
That's more acceptable. I thought it was just 50. See, that's makes more sense.
So I would be charging it 75, not 50.
Okay.
Okay.
Still,
Yeah, as
Brent's
long
got
as
a
it's
point.
cheap.
per
I mean,
lot, not yard.
Hiring a mole company is gonna cost you that. You're getting it out of your inconvenience, so
Okay,
like you say, they'll just wait 3 more months until it needs it again, and just pay you, that's pretty
Yeah.
cheap mowing.
Yeah. Only have to mow it twice a year and then pay them $100 to do it.
Yeah.
Well, there's people that just have that mentality.
Mhm.
Especially when they don't live here.
Let's,
Even if they do.
Well, I mean,
let's have that
some of these
committee
properties,
review the ordinance.
No, yeah, I get what your point. Yeah,
If
that-
somebody else owns it out of town.
There's summer house or something,
Yeah.
they come here once every
Well,
other
not
month.
summer house, but if somebody else out of town owns a property and nobody living in it,
Well, that'd be the other situation.
I thought it was in our nuisance section when we redid that.
We don't have one, it's called nuisance.
Oh, okay.
I think we always use the safety.
Safety would make sense. So, yeah.
So, Rick, Pooh, Joel, and Joe.
Okay,
What
so
was that?
you and you are on the safety committee, so you will get together, visit about, and review that ordinance to see if we
Okay.
actually need to make changes or if it's okay, so. All right. Anything else? Brenda?
No, that's all I have.
Okay, Ms. Brenda.
Okay, so I'm gonna be gone starting in the morning. I have Marla kind of all mapped out over here, so she'll be here. So last week I had a complaint from a resident. So there's a lot happening with squirrels, it seems. So this one on Park Avenue South said that she's wondering about if we could put like a sign saying slow down.
Because they don't want squirrels run over?
Right.
Oh,
Well, we could put in a squirrel crossing sign.
The law of natural selection
Someone
will
already
solve
did
that
put a
problem.
squirrel sign up.
Only the
Oh.
stupid ones will get
I
it.
think we have enough squirrels.
I missed the squirrel crossing sign. I'll have to,
You'll have to drive down.
yeah.
But she said that trucks and semis and people just like zoom up and down Park South,
Mm-hmm.
and she would like them to know that it's 20 miles per hour.
Well,
It's
even,
posted.
yeah, even on the north side, people
Sit right
take
across the
advantage
corner there.
of
Yeah.
police presence and they go
I
on
would
the
guess
street they
it's
want.
probably not abided by a fair amount of times.
Yeah.
It's an easy road to speed on. It's like nothing.
If you turn off the highway, then you start speeding up again.
Mhm.
If you're coming towards the highway though, you're slowing down.
Yeah,
all the
usually.
time, so.
Like, there is a speed sign, like, right when you turn
Mhm.
on Park South, right?
Yeah,
And then it didn't, like, we put one further down also, right?
Correct. Yeah. It's
posted. It's posted.
Pounds 20 miles an hour or something like
Yeah,
that.
there's nothing we can do with that. It's
But
just,
people, I mean,
well,
it's just like when they're leaving town, it's not, you get up to 45 miles an hour since when you get to the 45-mile-an-hour sign,
Yeah.
you don't get there before that.
Yeah,
It
you can't do-
starts there.
You can't do 45 before the sign, but you can do 45 after the sign.
So,
Okay, so we're probably not going to do anything to help her squirrels. But,
and nobody goes through corn on the road or anything.
see, they're not speeding it in the driveway, so they come across me in the trees.
I don't know what's happening with this whole
2-year-old knows
squirrel
what to look
thing.
both ways across. the
Yeah,
street.
they're
Another
no.
another call last week was because a dog was getting into his yard and he was gonna be carrying a gun. And then I called the other neighbor and so their neighbor's been feeding the squirrels and that's why his dogs are running after the squirrels.
Oh,
So he's gonna shoot all the squirrels and pile them in his yard.
oh. Well, we can maybe remind the dog owner that, you do need to be able to keep your dog in your yard, and
Under
as
control.
much as they love squirrels, they are not allowed to, they can only kill squirrels in their yard.
So I had it and told him he could do whatever.
Whoever makes them happy, yeah.
This is a real squirrely situation.
Okay.
My last thing is just that Morgan has been really good at the
Oh,
pool.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Good.
So far, it's
Good.
been
Good.
going well. Yeah, that's all I have.
Motion to approve the claims.
Okay, wow, thank you.
1 second.
A motion by Joe, second by John. Any other discussion?
Those were senders for meters or something, Brian?
What? Wind water? Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I figured they were.
Okay.
I think wind water's just water distribution. Everything
Yeah.
Water mains, water and sewer.
Yep.
Sometimes we got to put 20 on a month.
Because I see it said $82 a piece, so it's like, oh, of ones that aren't
No,
reading right?
This is my current list for last month.
It really is asinine, like all of these.
That's all the radios I gotta replace.
So they're all about the same age? I mean,
You can tell when they went to a certain neighborhood and did certain ones.
Yeah.
And we're getting years out of them. They're 10, 12, 13 years old.
It's part of it, I guess.
Okay. Any other discussion about claims? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, financial report. Anyone notice anything? Okay. So is there a motion to approve financial report?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Austin, second by Joel. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, old business. Like I said, we do have the building permit for the shed, the storage shed at the park. Were there others?
There's others.
Couple, oh, that's, I think that's the clock. And there's privacy fence and another privacy fence here.
Oh.
And then just tearing down a old garage.
Oh,
Which is probably gone, isn't it?
Shite.
Oh, no,
No.
I've just seen that building out there. Kurt Rich's was missing. fact, it's probably part of the building.
That's city limits?
What?
Is Kurtz in city limits?
Yeah, he had a building.
Oh, yeah, he did have a building permit a while ago, yeah. I forgot about that.
I didn't know where that cutoff line was over there.
Probably just west of him.
Where that road forks probably. Maybe not even that far.
I don't think so. Like, right at the first fence, almost.
So, anything new on nuisance properties? I know,
And I called and talked to him on Friday
yeah,
about the lawns.
yeah. And that could maybe be,
I did a, maybe I ought to send one to the county for Middle Ness.
Well, that might get their attention.
Which, trying to do something in that backyard would be.
But I mean, I just,
But,
it
yeah.
just come to my head all of a sudden, like, I mean, I just. What's that?
It wouldn't hurt.
Maybe it'll bring up some attention.
Yeah, I mean, let them people over there know that, hey, we're getting tired of you guys not being able to
Move
expedite,
forward.
move forward, yeah.
did our legal committee ever get those ordinances to law enforcement for spring, summer, like we're going to do seasonally?
No.
Okay. I know that was discussed at the last county meeting, about getting,
Police committee.
yeah,
Police committee.
about getting ordinances to law enforcement so they know which ones we would like in,
It's the same committee as the safety one.
okay,
That
yeah,
need to,
yeah, so maybe
at
when
the
you're,
same time.
yeah, also discuss which ordinances seasonally we would like law enforcement to check out when they're doing their rounds around town. It makes sense that, well, yeah, they can watch for squirrels and note where they're most likely to be crossing, as well as lawns, so.
Do we still have that nuisance property guy that comes around?
Yes,
Yeah.
yep, yeah. Yeah, but he said, it doesn't make sense for him to do the lawns because he's not here often enough. Obviously, if we need something with some teeth to it, he can help us out, but,
But there are some properties in town that need some teeth. I mean, they've been, vehicles under repair for a couple of years now.
yes, yeah,
I mean, I know there's verbiage in the ordinance that says we can go and clean that stuff up at their expense, but is it ever gonna happen, or
it has happened in the past.
is there another way to approach this? I mean, that's the stick approach.
guys
Is
have- you
there
guys
any
have tried
other
like
ways
the-
to deal with this?
Brought a crusher in before, haven't you? And people get paid.
Yeah, we
$50
we
or something.
advertised it and everything, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we never.
Brought a crusher out
did
to
any
the-
interest.
Well, Jeremy, didn't you do it one year? I think you had a guy who was coming into town and people,
That was a long time ago.
yeah. But yeah, maybe that's something we can revisit, because maybe there would be people who would be interested now, if you still have that person's contact
Well-
information. I don't know who it was.
But
It
they have
wasn't
to,
a
they have to
crusher.
be motivated
Oh,
to do it.
Yeah, it was.
It was,
Oh,
okay.
Compressor, yeah.
Okay.
Peterson or something.
Yeah, maybe some people would be willing to.
Yeah, cause they have come in and bailed up the
Mhm.
rebel site before too, all the white goods and stuff.
Yeah, I think Kevin Kurt was still here when he did that.
We've been here twice since we've been here. You just call and say they're coming through and.
Brand new
that's-
tires on the skid loader and then Kevin let that
That's
company use
really
it
Oh,
out
yeah.
there. Yeah, they destroyed the whole
Wrecked them
set
all.
Yeah,
one day. Completely destroyed them. They paid for them, but
Yeah, and I brought that up to Brenda too, that there are some properties that have been on the list and, because he puts things in chronological order, which is, I haven't seen that there are any additions to his original documentation, which could have been back in 2022, so. I think maybe my intention was to come in and look at those so that next time he comes, he has a guide, so. But if someone from the nuisance property also would like to, which is safety, I guess, but, has some suggestions, we can do that.
Well, we can discuss that.
Park vandalism.
So, did you guys meet with the insurance
Yeah.
guy? What day was that?
So that Thursday or Friday, whenever that Thursday, our helper was here. Yeah, Thursday probably.
I never really heard, like, did you guys show it around, like?
Yep, I took him around.
Oh, yeah, it's the day I was at the swimming pool, because I saw him walking through the park.
Oh.
Whatever day that was.
He just wanted to know where the problem areas were, and he's gonna put his numbers together, gather some information, and then he was gonna get with Brenda. And I said, you actually had, we actually got actual bids, and he asked where we got them from, and I said there was a dry ice company at the school, and I said, that's how we come up with our bids is, we went and chased them and got a hold of the playground equipment manufacturer and reached out to them and whatnot, so.
And then, was it two Mondays ago? He was supposed to have court. And I went over there just to be over there. He didn't show up.
Was it expecting you last?
Bench warrant.
He moved back to
But-
California.
I don't believe anyone has seen him since, so.
All of them did, or?
No, just him.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, we'll never see a dime out of him.
All right, so new business, bank signature cards. We all got them signed, didn't we?
So Joe, I'll you start. And then after you were done, then just pass it over to
Okay.
Joel. So, like, you're up there.
Okay. And then, the moment JB has been so patiently waiting for, resolution 103, TAC 25.
And I did like highlight the name of everything. Cause this time I included the shops thing.
Right.
Because that really wasn't in there, it was just decided.
All right. Resolution establishing water rates for the city of Lake Preston, resolution 103, TAC 25. And I'm reading the changes. Be it resolved that effective as of the 1st of September 2025, the following water rates shall apply. If water is turned on at the curb stop, a minimum monthly charge consisting of $18 per month per connection base fee plus $6.40. Okay, so you have $6.40 written and $6.50 numerically.
So it's $6.50.
Okay.
Okay.
So plus base fee plus $6.50. Do you want me to write on this? Cents per 1,000 gallons of water consumed or fraction thereof is hereby imposed for all residential connections in the city and commercial connections located inside and outside the city limits except apartment buildings. If water is turned off at the curb stop, a fee shall apply to all vacant structures / buildings or vacant lots where city water distribution is available. The fee shall be $15 per month for each resident, multiple family and commercial occupancy within the city for distribution and maintenance and to assist with loan obligations. No additional loan surcharges will be charged to these properties until water is turned on at the curb stop. Funds will be separated to make large balloon payments towards the water surcharge loans. If water is turned on at the curb stop of a second account shop, a minimum monthly charge consisting of $18 per month per connection base fee plus $6.50 per 1,000 gallons of water consumed or fraction thereof is hereby imposed for all residential connections in the city. If water usage exceeds 500 gallons, surcharges will be added to the bill for that month. Okay.
The second account shop, is that what we were talking about when some places maybe have another meter in their garage or their
Yes,
shop? Okay,
yes.
okay.
And that.
That was
has
already
been-
there, but.
It wasn't officially
Well,
in
yeah.
here, so,
Okay.
yes.
You guys sign those three,
Okay.
and then I'll sign the fourth.
Okay.
So what discussion do we have? Rick, you made the original motion
Yeah.
last month, and this is the resolution.
Did we have math on how much this could generate in those balloon payments? Or I don't remember if
Yeah.
we did or not.
Well, we had an amount at one time
Yeah.
when it was the full
Because
amount.
wasn't it?
Oh, at that.
And then it was
the
a
higher
lot,
rate.
50-some thousand.
Empty lots.
Is it 80?
I think I figured over 10 years, it was $500,000.
Yeah,
Is that
At
at the
the-
15?
no, that
Oh,
was at the
that was
higher
at the-
price, I
I'm
think,
just gonna
wasn't
go
it?
off of 80,
At 8 lots? Okay.
off of 80,
So
80 different services. I think that one list, we had like 85.
Yep.
So we have 80 unused curb stops,
So like per month, it's
Well-
2,400, so each year.
or
I'm not sure if there's even curb stops on some of them. I think it's just
20,000.
stuff that goes on to
Right,
it.
almost 30,000.
So it's
they gotta
accessible.
shut off somehow.
And then what was, you were gonna save for 2 years
Mine
and then
would
make a
have
balloon
some
payment?
curb stops
Right.
or
And I
Something
think
like that.
Something
yeah.
just to
You guys had
blast,
discussed,
designate.
you know, our water tower loan
Right.
is the lowest
Right.
one.
Mhm.
So like
So
get
they just
that
kept
paid
capped
off
underground?
first.
Okay.
Must
Yeah.
have.
Because, yeah, in 10
I
years,
know they didn't
it's
go in
288,000.
that far off the edge of the road about.
So,
two of the
I mean, that
last
adds up
stuff,
pretty
but
fast.
I can't
At-
see a curb stop there.
Yeah, I mean, the 15, because, you know, the gal from State, she had mentioned possibly even $50, what I think was what she
Right,
threw
like
out.
25
Oh, yeah.
and
It was
25.
Yeah,
substantial.
so, yeah, so,
You know, when she came here and drove around and looked at everything, you know, she's like, some of these bare ones, you know, like Melness's, like the
Mhm.
one that we cleaned up, you know, like it'd be nice to have a house there,
mhm,
actually use.
right. Yeah. So, any other discussion? Is there a motion to approve resolution 103, 25?
I'll make it.
I'll second.
In other words, you're saying I gotta pay so much a month for every curb stop I got.
Yes.
But there's the point I'm trying to tell you, my camping spot up there, long before I put one up there, and I run a line along that whole block. If I wanna add to it, cause I ain't gonna charge somebody extra money. It's wrong, as far as I'm concerned.
Like per campsite, you're not charging per
That's right.
camper?
And I didn't tell anybody to put them curb stops in there.
They were there before?
All but one.
All but one? I mean, that was, on the design was to come through and put them all in every lot,
Replace existing.
Yeah.
replace existing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what are them curb stops cost?
Well, services cost 2,500.
So if one goes down,
That's, I think, and I'm pretty sure that includes water and sewer.
sure. Okay. Do I need a roll call vote?
For that, probably.
It's not written on here, but,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is at the bottom. Okay. All right, John,
Aye.
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Rick?
Aye.
Austin?
Aye.
Joel?
Aye.
Oops. All right. With all voting aye, this resolution is declared passed and adopted on the 9th of June, 2025.
And just because I need leeway, because I want to send out letters to everyone.
Right.
And
I did read September 1st.
yeah, like it's not happening until September, because.
Thank you. All right, resolution 104, TAC 25. Be it resolved that effective as the 1st of September 2025, the following sewer rates shall apply. If water is turned on at the curb stop, the rates for sewer usage shall be calculated on a monthly basis. There shall be only one class of users for purposes of rate calculation, with rates to be determined based on the user's metered water usage. I think it's supposed to be the class there. The minimum monthly base rate shall be $18 base fee regardless of usage. An additional monthly charge shall be imposed at a rate of $2.50 for each 1,000 gallons or fraction thereof of metered water usage. If water is turned off at the curb stop, a fee shall apply to all vacant structures / buildings or vacant lots where city sewer collection is available. The fee shall be $15 per month for each residence, multiple family and commercial occupancy within the city for distribution and maintenance and to assist with loan obligations. No additional loan surcharges will be charged to these properties until water is turned on at the curb stop. Funds will be separated to make large balloon payments towards the water surcharge loans. If water is turned on at the curb stop of a second account shop, a minimum monthly charge consisting of $18 per month per connection base fee plus $2.50 per 1,000 gallons of water consumed or fraction thereof is hereby imposed for all residential connections in the city. If water usage exceeds 500 gallons, surcharges will be added to the bill for the month. Discussion on this one?
So this one is for the sewer?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think you could just well dig all my curb stops up and I don't want none of them.
Any discussion from the council? Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
A second?
I'll second.
All right, roll call vote. John?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Rick,
Aye.
Austin,
Aye.
and Joe.
Aye.
Well, all right, on a roll call vote, all voting aye, resolution 104, TAC 25 is declared passed and adopted on the 9th day of June 2025. All right, employee concerns.
I'm good.
Allergies. Ryan?
That time of year.
One thing I had was, I forgot to bring up, was, someone inquired about irrigation system in their yard. And they, have been. The company from Brookings had said that in their town, they put in a second meter. But it would have to be, it's gonna be kind of confusing because you'd have your meter. And then after that meter, there'd be another meter going to just their irrigation system, which would basically be another account that we would have to set up and deduct off of so we can keep track of how much is irrigation, or is it easier just to keep that 20?
They want a second meter. Yeah, second meter is gonna be a second charge. You got to do the.
Well, it would be a dummy. It would be like not a nice manual reader one, all that. It would have to be like a manual reader one for price wise. But we do also have that 20,000 gallon cap.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So we just say, hey, use at your discretion, because
Yeah.
it'd be a lot if you're irrigating right away.
Approximately how many people would utilize a second meter?
We get some new developments
Yeah.
How many? We have one in town now,
that I know of.
and they have just one meter.
They're the reason that we had set the new standard of 20,000 gallon. And that was when they were just getting their grass established, so it was, take a little more water, but
Now it's not so bad.
no, not at all.
Would we charge them like, on this 103.25? Would you do treat it like a shop?
Well, it'd be the same water line, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but still,
But it's another meter, I guess is what I'm wondering.
still metered separately. So
But this
Charging
really,
for the water, but their sewer rate will
right,
go up.
yeah, that's what I mean, it gets confusing, so I decided to bring it up, but I think our best bet is to just do that 20,000 gallon, cap or whatever that we do.
Could we check with Eastman Arlington, what they do?
So why do you cap it at 20,000?
Because when there was, we want people to have these nice yards, and then when we're charging them for water and sewer, when they're only using water to irrigate their water, or irrigate their yard, then I don't know, that was probably 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
right, three.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think to avoid a mess, I think the best part would be to just keep it at that max, but you can surely see what the other towns are doing too.
Right,
Well, if you had a separate meter, it wouldn't matter the max. You just
right, we could get rid of
You
that.
take that number from that new meter,
Yeah.
and then you just subtract it from,
Mhm. And we're potentially looking at 3, possibly 4
What-
months.
Yeah, once you meet, you wouldn't meter.
it'd be, the meter, the irrigation meter would be after the regular meter.
No. You couldn't see it and have it.
Yeah, it would be after the meter though. You got main line coming in, you meter the water coming in, and then you'd meter the one going back out into the yard. And then
It'll show up as.
Yeah, I know, I just didn't know if you could just,
It's backwards from where we
if you're just gonna have two,
You just
you know,
take
TV
that.
for the meter, so you had 2 meters essentially.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they would.
No different than on a shop, you got a teat underground.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely food for thought.
Yeah, I mean, and with these new developments that we're hoping to get
There are gonna be more people doing it.
Yeah.
something to get on the radar.
Okay.
So right now, if you're running a sprinkler, you're paying sewer and water. Goodness.
Up to 20,000.
Anything over 20,000 is
Free. Well, you get just charged for the water.
just water.
The sewer rate doesn't.
Sewer caps it.
Okay. Sewer cap at
I
20,000.
got you.
Anything else, Brian?
No, that was it.
Okay. Brenda?
I think I'm good.
Rick?
Cannon?
I'm ready about any time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah.
I know somebody
Should
mentioned
look at
something
our
like the other day.
schedule.
Doing,
Remember that text I sent out a long time ago?
Yeah.
Look at our schedule.
I got 3 more days of seatbelt survey this week and then next week I'd probably go to
Okay.
work on it or,
So have it done by June 13th. It needs to be over to Scott and Jim's shop. Then he can work on it 3 consecutive weekends before July 1st.
okay,
Thanks for looking that up.
No, that's all.
I guess, me, Joel and Brett went over to that tax meeting at the
Yes.
beginning of the month.
Yeah.
Beginning of May? Yeah, middle of May, maybe?
Yeah,
Was it May
Um,
20th?
That sounds right, about right.
Somewhere around
Maybe
there.
20,
It was the 20th.
was it the 20th? Okay, yeah. Yeah, we went over there. She kind of did what we figured she would. You know, it kind of just gave us a lesson on how they get to those numbers. Kind of. And then didn't really specify on how she got to that number on closest property. Never once said. And
well, no, she told me separately, in fact, she even called me separately. And said the numbers that he had weren't the right ones. Not all of them.
his numbers that
he presented to us. Some of the stuff that he got was not.
That he got from her.
No.
Or are you talking like some of his
The
estimate stuff
spreadsheet.
that he got?
Yeah, the spreadsheet stuff that he
She
got.
also said that some you could sell a lot for $25,000 in Lake Preston, so.
So you know, after.
She's a theory, if you get well, she also, well, she also mentioned that, you know, you sell something, but you don't really know how to split it up between what the house value is and what the property value is. You sell the whole thing together.
Well, and what I thought was
Well,
important was
yeah,
that Dave wasn't even contesting the price of his shop. But he was contesting the price of the land that his house and his shop sat on, and then what she appraised his house at. He wasn't ever contesting, but you know, if she said his numbers are wrong, I guess, you know, we could look, and you know.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
I
them together
don't
in our
know.
room.
Yeah.
But, and whether his numbers were wrong or not, it still feeds into the whole idea that we can't find consistency,
Mhm.
which was the whole idea of going over there. So
Yeah,
it's further
I-
conversation.
I think there was more information than what Austin's letting on. At least I got.
There was a lot of information, yes, but I don't know, some of the things that I grabbed didn't seem like she.
I did tell people that if they want to just listen to the question part,
Right.
like that video
Oh,
that I
yep.
took,
Yeah.
like go watch the last 20 to 30 minutes.
Mhm. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. To go with you, I know Brett had also expressed frustration that he felt like a lot of his questions didn't get answered.
Yeah.
So, but it was good to have a conversation and
Yeah, and
hopefully it can be built
and
on.
it's something that people always come and ask
She didn't
us.
address any specific property.
Yeah.
It was more on what their role is and how they go about doing it.
Mhm.
You know, we take this value, this is what we're trying to do, and this is how we go about doing it.
Yeah.
and-
But she also said that Arlington, DeSmet, and Lake Preston are valued separately,
Separately.
which is not what she has told us in previous meetings. So
Yeah.
knowing that.
I
like,
can't
okay,
speak to that.
Yeah, like you
Yeah,
heard.
She
right?
has said that
Okay.
before.
Yeah, and then at the end of the, kind of towards the end of the
Never been a
meeting,
lot sold in town for 25,000.
No.
yeah.
Well, I know,
Never.
after I said that during that meeting, that, cause I had said that lots here do not sell for that
Mhm.
much, they're more like 7,000
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
10.
And if we're
then-
lucky.
And then, of course, she had said that, well, I know of, and then I thought of like one that probably has sold for that, but it's like a person that moved back from like Florida
Mm,
that would have bought a lot for that amount,
yeah.
Oh,
you know,
Mhm.
Thinking it was a buy compared to where they came from.
Yeah.
Probably is.
Yeah.
But she also mentioned that this is the year that they're gonna be going to everybody's house and trying to get
Oh,
everything
yeah.
trued up. So they just want a quick walk through the house and just take a look at the condition, and it's not to be snoopy, it's
And-
just,
Just
So-
crazy that the whole
You
town.
better
was up
make
for-
darn sure you're there before and after the sign time, 'cause otherwise she will hammer you.
Oh.
And
So
last,
what do they wanna walk through for?
I think it's,
to check condition.
yeah.
She
I mean,
did
if you have cracks
sometimes-
in your ceiling, you have a
So you
hole
get
in your
shamed,
floor.
you get shamed for having a nice house inside or whatever, but then if you have a bad house, you're shamed again, but in a financial way.
Right. Yeah. So
Well-
the ceiling that fell down in my parlor, maybe my house value will go down.
Yes, actually, you could.
But you gotta call her when you get it fixed.
I built my house with
Yeah,
literally the cheapest
will
stuff
do.
you can build it with and made it look as good as I could.
Mhm.
That's
But
the
I'm
part,
still gonna get dinged for that because I did what I did.
that's the part of the people that've been here for 60 years. All their taxes are going up because of all the houses that are selling and building in town, which to me isn't fair because you still got a 100-year-old house.
Mhm.
You know, even though you've kept it up, it's still a 100-year-old house.
Mhm.
And I think that is taken into account in her
It's like
formulation.
90%.
Supposedly, yeah.
For-
Well, we redid my mom and dad's house and she put it at, she just took a number. It's a 1960 house now because it was an 1890 house before, but we redid it in 2004.
Mhm.
So she just took, we'll just call it a 1960 house now. Like, it's still an old structure. We put sheetrock and insulation, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're going through. the
One thing,
process here.
one thing I thought
They
was
do that every
important
10 years.
that she said, maybe it wasn't her, but if it wasn't her, it was the guy after. He said, ask yourself, can I sell my house for this? And I was like, I think there's a lot of people that would say no,
Yeah.
because you can't.
And that's
And
what she
I guess
said.
I was just,
Yeah.
kinda- yeah, but I guess that was my rundown. Joel, you know, it was good that you hopped into there. And then I have grass on streets, but I'm wondering if that has something to do with.
Yeah.
Probably the same thing with you.
Mhm.
I actually just got pictures at the beginning of the meeting. Was it this one? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just sent it, so I was like, well, I'll bring it up here. But, okay.
5 rows in, we still did it.
I was gonna say, I think sometimes the wind will
No, it was
make
just,
a little bit of a difference.
it was all over me. It was 10 feet in the air. It was.
Oh,
hit
okay.
the tall grass and just shoot straight up.
Mm.
I had it as high as the deck would go.
Okay.
That's what I mean, even just people mowing and sometimes,
Corner.
well,
turning.
like, say down here, when I try to go around the,
Uphold.
pole or the fire hydrant,
Mhm.
there's only one way you can go around it and get
Yeah,
it
there's
very
just so much
close.
you can do.
So you're gonna throw a little bit out there, but I always make sure to mow a number of
There's a
times
difference
back to-
between that and doing it on purpose. 'cause you're-
Mhm.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Austin. Joel?
I put in my 2 cents
Yeah.
worth. Oh, when do we want to get together for whatever meetings we have to get together for?
Safety.
Just whenever. Oh,
With
this
the
week won't
safety
work
and law.
very good.
What?
This week won't work very good for me, cause
Don't care. Just want to put something on the books.
something next week.
Okay. A bad day for you, good day for you?
After work.
Anytime
It's
before you-
fine.
Yeah, we're training.
Check the weather.
Should we do it Monday at 6 or something? or
Well, I will be at 6. I mean, yeah.
7,
7:30.
7:30?
Yeah, 7:30.
Monday at 7:30 work for you? Right.
I assume I'll have to be there because I'll have to give you ordinances and et
Yeah.
cetera.
I just figured them off online.
Sure.
I think I'm good.
Jimmy?
Seen on one online auction where there was 20, what did they say, Brian, 22 or 26?
22.
Really nice, heavy duty picnic tables that we'll keep an eye on.
Oh.
They were
nice.
commercial ones from,
They're like the state market ones.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Aluminum? Yeah, they're nice.
I don't know if they're aluminum or
Well,
steel or,
yeah.
they're,
They're metal.
they look like they're probably that plastic coated metal type thing and stuff, so. It's about a little over a week down the way for it auction ends, so. So I showed those to Brian, we'll keep an eye on them and see maybe we can snag up someone pretty affordable.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Other than that, that was it, and the leaning tower.
I'll have to go look at that now.
Brady Malone
No, my compass.
asked me again about having a car show in the park. Not really a car show, but just
Show and
Together-
shine or something
together.
they call them.
park one here and one there. And
Oh, sort of like Arlington?
yeah,
Would it be in the grass or was it gonna be in the parking lot
I-
of
I-
either the
I-
ball
I-
field?
I-
I
or-
don't
Pretty
know
pretty
that's in the grass. It's, I think a lot of people show up for those things.
Well, and sometimes they
Well, yeah, see, in the
they
car-
don't like it
the
too
car
close
club's
to
doing-
trees, cause then if the trees are
Mm,
sapping or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I know the car club was doing the hot dog deal on Sunday.
oh,
I think that's what he was
Not
talking
Rosin,
about.
oh,
Was Brian,
Yeah, that's
Parking lot.
probably who you had to
As long
ask.
as we don't get 2 inches of rain. it's-
right,
I mean,
it really shouldn't
as
hurt.
long as it ain't muddy, we don't
Right.
really care. It's when it's
Right.
muddy and everybody tracks in, which
Mhm.
we get enough ruts in our park, so.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if it's too soft, you'll end up with a lot more.
Yeah, don't.
Brian can
don't
just make the
need
call when that time comes, I guess, if it's,
Yeah, it's, again,
Well, I mean,
we're
it's-
supposed to get
event
Wednesday,
park
Wednesday
is-
night, and Thursday, basically a 20% chance for the next 7 days, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Starting Monday over again.
was he talking this weekend, John?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just, I just asked him to use common sense, I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
The parking and gravel,
It's soggy, stay out, but it's dry.
yeah.
That's it.
okay. Only thing I have, I walked downtown to get groceries one day. The blue banners look good, like those. And I think they'll look sharp for Reunion, plus just town in general, but, some of our American flags aren't as spectacular. So how often do we have them on a cycle?
I
Or,
don't know if it's a cycle per se.
okay,
But
I don't
didn't we
remember.
just buy some like, was it 2 years ago?
I think to replace some not so great ones.
They're pretty spendy units.
So do we
I don't
need to,
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know if we can do like a,
What is this, 3rd or 4th year? now? You made the polls, you know.
I don't remember.
Probably getting a little faded.
Well-
AJ was still there.
weather tattered.
I didn't know if we could do like a cycle if we did it every 5 years so that it
Right,
was. for
on
the-
all school reunion
school
year
reunion.
would kind of make sense to me.
If you can stretch them that long or not, but
Yeah,
that would make sense.
How many are we
Yeah.
talking
Easier to
about?
remember, 18. Easier to remember it then too.
Mhm.
yeah. Do you mind checking prices?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how expensive it would be, but I guess to me, it just makes sense to do it this year,
Makes sense.
unless it's crazy expensive.
right. Yeah, I have no idea what that stuff is. I wouldn't think it'd be that bad, but
I'm sure we'll get our
I know the
Same
company,
flight from China, so. it'll be-
no, the company we got them from last time was, they're pretty good quality. I mean,
Were they?
they're just faded. I don't think any are ripped, are they? They're
No, I
not faded. I don't think so.
Okay.
Nylon or cloth?
Cloth. It seemed
You
to
need to
hang-
re-dye them then.
it seemed to hang pretty good.
Okay, Betsy. Who's ripping out the seams? Not me. All right. Is anyone calling for executive session?
I will call for an executive session for legal.
Okay. All right. I don't think we've had to do one of these for a long time.
Oh,
Do we need a motion or can I just do that? Okay. Is there a motion to go into executive for legal?
Motion.
Second?
I'm curious, so.
Motion by Austin, second by Joe, all in favor?
Aye.
We are hereby in executive session at 8:32.